Hello, welcome to Hands-on Equations, translating equations to models and solving using math notes. Today we are going to be working on the right side of the notes you started yesterday. Today we are going to be focusing on the right side of yesterday's notes. And the idea behind it is that we use the visual representations to help us decide what math steps we should take. So let's go ahead and do the first example. So notice that the equations are exactly the same. They're both 4x plus 2 equals 3x plus 9. And if we look at the first step of the visual representation, we subtracted 3 pawns from each side. Well, instead of using pawns, because we're no longer using a visual representation, we're going to actually just subtract 3x from both sides. Now, when we subtracted 3x from both sides, we were left with a pawn and a 2 on the left side. So that means we'll have 1x and a 2 on the left side. And then we were just left with a 9 on the right side. From there, we were trying to eliminate a number 2 from both sides. And we took the 9 and we split it up into a 2 and 7. But because we're doing this mathematically and we can show subtraction using algebraic symbols, instead of rewriting 9 as 7 and 2, we can just show the subtracting 2 from both sides. So now I'm left with 1x equals 7, which you can see matches our pawn is equal to 7. Checking it is very similar to what we did with the visual representation. The difference is we're not going to be using pawns anymore. We're just going to be using the equation. So I start with 4x plus 2 equals 3x plus 9. So step 1 is rewrite. Step 2, you're going to plug in the solution you got. So the solution we got was 7. So I'm going to plug that in for the x's. Now when I do that, remember this 4x means 4 times x. So this should become 4 times 7. And the 3x means 3 times x. So it should be 3 times 7. From there, we use a calculator to see what each side equals. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 2 is 30. 3 times 7 is 21. And 21 plus 9 equals 30. So we see that it does check out. So let's go ahead and try another one together. So this time we had 2x plus x plus 4 is equal to 4x plus 1. The first thing I noticed is that we had to eliminate 3x from both sides. But if you look, we have a 2x and an x, so we don't really have technically the number 3 there to eliminate. So instead, I'm going to take this x and this 2x, and I'm going to group them together to make 3x. And I can do that because when I looked at my pawns, I had 3 pawns. So we're just using x in place of pawns. So I still have 3 x's, just like I had 3 pawns. Now I am able to go ahead and subtract 3x from both sides. So now I'm left with 4 equals 1x plus 1. The next step was we needed to eliminate a 1. And in doing so, we had to separate out the 4 into a 3 and 1. Well, we don't really need to do that because we can just show the subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I can see that 1x is equal to 3. Checking. So step 1, rewrite your equation. 2x plus x plus 4 equals 4x plus 1. Plug in. So 2 times 3 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 4 times 3 plus 1. And then use a calculator to check. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So we see that they do check out. So the one thing I want to point out is notice that I'm keeping my balanced moves. Those didn't go away. Whatever I did to one side, I also did to the other. Same thing down here. Whatever I did to one side, I also did to the other. So you need to make sure that you keep doing your balanced moves. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video and try to do the last one on your own. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. So, based on what we did previously, I'm going to go ahead and regroup these as 4x. So now I have 4x plus 3 is equal to 3x. And I'm also going to regroup these as 14. And I know we didn't necessarily actually write a 14, but I did make note here that it's equal to 14. It just makes it a little bit easier to kind of look at the problem. From here, I know I need to subtract 3 x's from both sides. So I'm left with 1x plus 3 is equal to 14. From here, I subtract 3 from both sides. So I'm left with 1x equals 11. Then we check. Start with the original equation, 2x plus x plus x plus 3 is equal to 3x plus 10 plus 4. Plug in your solution, so 2 times 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 3 is equal to 3 times 11 plus 10 plus 4, and then use a calculator to check. 2 times 11 is 22, plus 11 is 33, plus 11 is 44, plus 3 is 47. 3 times 11 is 33, plus 10 is 43, and then 43 plus 4 is 47. So that's it for solving equations. By now, hopefully you've started to see the transition between visual model and the actual math. Once we get back from spring break, we are going to spend a lot more time on equation solving to make sure that you're ready for 8th grade. Don't forget, you do have a little mini quiz tomorrow on the visual representations, so make sure you study tonight. Thanks for watching.